no one's gonna save you. No one's gonna come out of the woods and say, hey, I got your back, man. I wanna take you from all this shit. Some people get that, but very few of us do. So the only person coming to save you is yourself. And that's what the book's about, man. Don't look around the corner hoping, I wanna sit on this couch and hope for a fucking miracle.
Yeah.
It might come to that 1%, but it ain't coming to most of us. So you better start getting to work. Your best work has to come when you're least motivated. Where does that come from? It comes from basically, I had to stop thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things. But no one taught me this stuff. It wasn't like I had, I paid a trainer to come train me. Jenny Craig didn't come down and miracle my ass. None of this happened. It was on me. And that's the thing you have to realize. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay. But being a badass hurts real bad. And that's why I didn't want to do it. No one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where this started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was like, hey, I'm fucked up. I'm gonna go back and fix this. But now I have to own this. No one's gonna come back to save me. No one's gonna come back on this fucking couch and say, hey, it's okay. You're gonna be okay. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be okay. I had to realize I had to take a stand. I had to make a real stand. And it was painful to look at who I was, what the world and myself created. It created a very lonely, depressed, insecure man that would do anything just to have a friend. And I saw that as very pathetic. When you look at the truth, it becomes very ugly and pathetic. No one's coming back to help me. So it starts with that person in that mirror. You have to realize you are on your own now. And whatever else you believe in, I don't care what you believe in, but on earth is a very lonely journey. And it starts with the accountability mirror, looking at saying, hey, my dad who beat the hell out of me is not coming back. All these things are coming back. I have to face myself. And you have to own all those things that people may have done to you. Now it's yours. You got to own it. It's yours now to fix the problems that people did to you. It makes no sense. It's not fair. I get it. But if you live in that woe is me mentality of guess what? My dad did this to me. My mom did this to me. People who bullied did this to me. You're going to always live right there. You have to figure out ways to move forward because you're not coming back. You want to be that one motherfucker that every day, whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, you lost every dime. Your mom died. Your dad died. You come and you bring the energy that it takes to make a team function at the highest fucking level every day. And that's the person you want to be every day of your life. I'm trying to learn to the point where I can save someone's life. And even though paramedics are doing that all over the world, I'm trying to be that paramedic that can really dissect exactly what's going on and figure out, what medication goes where. Just trying to learn, the algorithm of what's going on, man. Being nobody, there's a lot of power in being nobody. There's a lot of power from going to scratch again and going back out there, picking up a Pulaski and just digging fire line. You're just another guy on the line, digging a fire line. And there's no text message. There's no, my God, David, can you sign my book? No, get your ass out there and win this war today against myself. I need to look better. I need to feel better. I need to eat better. I need to prioritize time.
Or I got to run 100 miles on broken feet.
Or you got to do
whatever
that.
It is.
That's it, man. There's a lot of growth in that. There wasn't nobody there but David Goggins. God was there. But God said, hey, motherfucker, I'm testing you today. Then I'm going to test you tomorrow. Then I'm going to test you again. I'm going to let you alone, man. Pray all the you want. Pray. Get on your knees, boy, pray. I'm going to still kick your ass. So the more I realize this is my journey, and the more I realize, where's all my friends? They ain't nowhere around. It was you. So you better figure out who the you are on this journey. And those few people many people don't like you, so be it. But you first have to figure out you, because a lot of people die with a lot of untapped potential because they're trying to be somebody that they're not.
Yeah.
So I was able to figure out my own potential by figuring out me. So that's where I started coming up with like, I'm training for life. Mentally, I'm training for life. I'm not training for like, to lift 400 pounds. And I found out on my own pretty much, is that through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do, and that's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop mental, like an armor for your mind. You start to armor your mind, because your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. It's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. I saw working out as a way for me to build calluses on my mind. I had to callous over the victim's mentality. So I watched these movies. I talked about Rocky last time I was on here. I always equated training to mental toughening. Like, it always looked brutal. People waking up early and doing all these things, and it looked horrible. I was like, wow, man, I gotta start doing that. Not to get better, bigger, and stronger, but that is what's gonna build me. That looks uncomfortable. That looks brutal. And getting up early, I don't wanna do that. So I made this long list of things I don't wanna do. And through that, I found myself. I started, I'm like, you guys aren't doing this shit in high school. You guys aren't getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, running over here in this golf course. So I started seeing myself very differently than the average human being. I was like, hang on a second. I have something they don't have. And that's when I started to develop these things through working out. It was this great, never-ending work ethic. And through work ethic, I developed self-esteem. How you become the person you want to be is constantly facing the things that you don't want to face. If you constantly run away from things that you don't want to face, how is there growth? How is there mental toughness? I can give you a class all day long about self-talk, visualization, eat an elephant one bite at a time. But if you're never putting yourself in a situation to actually practice these things, you're never going to grow. I can't put you out there we're all going through a battle in our mind. A warrior is not a person that carries a gun. The biggest war you ever go through is right between your own ears. It's in your mind. We're all going through a war in our mind, and we have to callous our mind to fight that war and to win that war. What I do in that 1 second, because we all think about quitting, it's hard. But what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information during pain. Because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So we are the only access. We have to save ourselves. So a lot of times we are the team to get us in and to get us out. Who I was this nobody guy. And I created this Goggins. And that Goggins, there's David Goggins and there's Goggins. David Goggins is a calm, cool guy that sits back. Used to be a, weak kid. Now he's just a normal guy. Goggins is a guy that is willing to tape up his legs to go after it. I knew no one was coming to save me, so I had to go ahead and fix my shit. And no one saved me. It wasn't like someone came down here and guided me through life. When you figure this out on your own, the amount of pride and dignity and self-respect you have. That's why I walk around the streets with a backpack and just like, I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
You figure it out by going inside yourself, by callousing over the victim's mentality. You're always a victim, even if you have everything in life, until you realize what you've achieved. Sometimes we can be in such a bad spot in our lives that the only answer is to say f*** it and go for broke. In my life, 20-something years ago, I was in that spot. And this guy asked me a question yesterday. What was the question, Jennifer?
He asked if you're paying the price physically now for what you put your body through.
Am I paying the price? So my answer was yes, I am. But what he didn't know was literally, I stepped back at 297 pounds, looked in the accountability mirror, and I saw a reflection I didn't like. It wasn't so much the outside, it was a lot of the inside. So that bothered me, and I was willing to do whatever it took to change that reflection. You gotta find out what you're going to do to change the reflection in that accountability mirror. A lot of people don't remember what the fuck they've accomplished in life. And at that time of suffering, you have to be able to fucking go through and pull up that fucking who the fuck I am resume and say, oh, for you, I'm sure you studied your fucking ass off for hours and days and years to get where you're at. I guarantee you did shit harder than this. And that's basically what you have to go back to. But it's hard to do because in that moment of suffering, all you can fucking think about is getting the fuck out of it. So you got to take that 1 second to pull yourself out of that suffering to have a clear fucking thought. It's hard to have clear thoughts in the midst of extreme pain and suffering. When you start to dive back in the cellar of your mind and you're pulling out all these tactics, all these mental tactics to get through this 30 miles when you're in the worst shape of your life and no one's coming to save you, and you get through that. So that voice in my head was, I'm a loser. And then it was confirmed when I got in school, and in 3rd grade, I was falling behind. They want to put me in a special school. Yeah. With kids who can't learn. Right. Then it was confirmed what my dad was saying. So that confirmed it. Then I started cheating. So I started realizing, you know what? I'm taking the easy way out again. Yeah. And it started snowballing from there. Now the kids are calling me nigger. But it wasn't all the kids. So what happens is you start to get this picture that everybody hates you because your reality becomes so big that you can't see the clear picture.
It might have been 3 or 4 kids.
That's it.
Doing it over and over.
Right. But it was the whole town.
Yeah.
Everybody hated me. So
the world hates me.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's when it became toxic. And that is where I became my worst enemy. When you've done that, and you figured out so much on your own, and all that pain and discomfort I had in that tub laying there, passing out, everything, was confirmation of what I just figured out. I just figured out the code. I figured out a code that many people aren't looking for. And I want it to be known. I want that feeling. This was confirmation. This was like a scientist's notes. The notes were here. The notes were all this feeling. It was a confirmation. And no one at that time could understand what I just done. I cracked the code to human potential in myself. If I can instill one piece of advice into all human beings, it would simply be to believe in yourself beyond, without a doubt. Believe in yourself and don't rely on anybody to believe in you. Don't rely on anybody to push you or make you better. Believe in yourself and only yourself, and allow that human being to make you a better person. So I truly wish I had the ability to go back to that training with the mind I have now, but we never had that ability to go back in time and we learn so much as we get older, which is a sad thing. I wish I had that knowledge when I was younger. You gotta save yourself, my friend. So that's when all that reality hit me when I went to Buffalo to see my dad on that drive home. I was like, man, this rest of your life is gonna suck. It is gonna suck, not because you're gonna be a loser, but because you're gonna finally start to win. And winning is not easy, my friend. Nothing's permanent. Nothing's permanent. That's why I'm always big on, you have to keep what you want to be in the front of your mind, because you're going to always lose it within the suffering. And suffering, people always hear me say suffering, it's not just physical, man. There's so many forms of suffering out here, it's not even funny. And most of them are not physical. Most of them are psychological. You have to be that person that has developed a game changer mindset. A person that wants to be the uncommon amongst the uncommon. You are not a game changer. If what I say right now offends you, scares you, makes you like, oh man, I don't know if that's for me, you're not a game changer. A game changer is a motherfucker that says, I've been training my entire life to take the big shot. I'm not talking about a basketball shot, man. I'm talking about a person that knows their value and knows that when they come to the table, it's the best in the fucking world. That's why now my price is so high and everything I do, everything is high. Because I am a game changer. Not being arrogant. A game changer has built that belief through hard work. They know who they are. And they bring the difference to the table. Game changes everything, man, but there's very few people who have that ability to do that. No, a lot of people can do it, but very few people want to put in the discipline, the hard work, and the dedication to become a game changer. You must hold yourself accountable, and being your own hero, that's what that does. You make yourself so totally accountable for who you are. You focus on you and only on you to become the best person you can be for others. Because we leave a lot on the table, not searching who we are. And then therefore, you die not knowing your greatest potential. I think that mental health is the most important thing in the world because the mind wants to have control over you. You need to have control over your own mind. So that's all about the mental health. Your mind's gonna always guide you in a spot that wants to make you feel comfortable and nice and secure. And it's in those spots that there's no growth. Without friction, there's no growth. So that's why I constantly preach about you have to get outside that comfort zone to find that every day of your life. I get one question a lot. When will I ever be satisfied? I'm very happy, but I'm not satisfied. I've accomplished a lot in my life, and I'm very proud of that. But I won't be, you know what? I run past a cemetery a lot at home. And when I run past a cemetery, it saddens me because there's a lot of people there, not because they're dead, because a lot of untapped potential. A lot of us die never tapping into our full potential. And I often look at wash rags when I'm wringing them out to hang them up as my soul. And I won't be satisfied until every drop of that wash rag, which is my soul, is completely wrung out. So in my life, I won't be satisfied until everything I have in me is completely out of me. And that's when I'll be satisfied. A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I start to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call nigger and this and that, and now I'm speaking at Tom Ferry's fucking event. Life ain't about medals, it ain't about your certificates, it ain't about houses, money, cars, fame, all that bullshit. It's about scars. So when you get judged, when everything is said and done with, you won't get judged on your medals. You get judged on your scars. Those scars show your willingness to get to the other side. They show your failures. They show your willingness to start from scratch. They show what you're willing to do to go the distance, to see what you're capable of. So make sure in life, don't be afraid to get scars. So in that moment, the mind directs us. It's a protective mechanism. It saves us from doing bodily harm, or it really saves us from discovering that the mind's like, I want to be in charge of you. I don't want you to be in charge of me. So it tells you, let's just stop right here. But once you start breaking through that barrier and start breaking down that governor that you've put in your mind, because we forget we are in control of our mind. We believe it's the other way around. No, we put in our minds what we should do, but we believe our mind is telling us, it's giving us all this feedback. We have to reprogram it and tell us, no, we're good. We're good, this sucks, but it's okay. You cannot live in that normal mindset. You must be your best on your worst day. And how you do that is you cannot think of a normal mindset. You cannot have a normal mindset. The most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, You go to bed with it. Eventually, you act on it, whether it be good or bad. There's haters everywhere in this world. Jealous people trying to get in your head. The one thing you got to understand is this: they're trying to infiltrate your mind. What a lot of boxers do to get away from distractions is they go away before a big fight. A lot of us can't do that. We have to be able to live amongst distractions and be undistracted. Stay in your own mind. Don't let them own yours. Life's all about time management. So I'm driving from Las Vegas to San Diego, and the traffic got real bad. So got bumper to bumper. No one's moving and So I'm doing 2-a-day runs right now. Run in the morning, run in the afternoon. So I plan on getting to San Diego, getting my run in. So instead of getting all poopy pants and feeling sorry for yourself and getting all frustrated because life has come at me, I decided to pull over because no one's moving anyway and utilize this time to get my miles in. I'm not saying do this. I'm not saying do this, but this is what I'm going to do right now. So utilize your time wisely. I didn't have a motherfucker come wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, you got to get your in. I had no trainer. I didn't have a nutritionist. It was this self-discipline that I had to survive, to not survive, I was weak, to thrive. No one said, hey man, you're 297 pounds, man. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help, hey man, you're not smart. I'm gonna help you out. I had to work at all this shit. I had to overcome, and it self-disciplines everything. And if you don't have it, I don't look at you right, because I know you're capable of more. While it helps you, it also hurts you to come from darkness, because why? It's easy for me to sit back and say, you know what? Poopy pants mentality. I want to sit back and let the world take care of me now. And that's what I'm talking about. Don't play sick too long. While my childhood was so messed up, I played sick way too long, and I almost lost tons of opportunities by playing sick. Because it feels good to play sick. My dad beat the fucking shit out of me, man. I couldn't read. I can't read. You know, when I was a junior in high school, I couldn't read. If you live that life, it feels good for people to, oh man, you know, that's just David, man. He's just not real smart, and he had a bad life, and you get a get out of jail free card. That's nice. It sucks doing what I had to do to get here today. That was not fucking fun. That darkness is not, there's nothing that dark to drive me to the place I had to go to become successful. Remind yourself of what you've been through back in the past, back in the day, to get to where you're at today. So that's what I do. It's a constant reminder. And then through that process, I guarantee you, your mind and body will say, oh, we got this. We've been here before. Maybe not in that kind of pain and suffering, but we've been here before in the demons of your own mind. So that's the best reminder in the world. Being the color I am, not real dark, and being light complected, I didn't fit in anywhere. I got caught nigger around whites. I got caught half-breed and sold out around some blacks. My mind was in the valley. I was stuck in there. Until I was willing to climb the mountain and look down on the reality of my life. The reality of my life was I had a lot of friends. I didn't see that. I saw this. A lot of us were predisposed. So our mindset does one thing. You hear one thing and you're ready to jump the gun and go off. I was defensive growing up, ready to hear something negative. Right now we got a lot of bad shit going on in the world. We gotta stop being defensive. We gotta hear everybody's shit, whether it be bad or good. Be ready to listen. Stay hard. Judge yourself against no one but yourself. You're racing against no one but yourself. And when you continuously think that when you compare yourself to other people, you are losing the race. And like this race is you against you, man. So don't get caught up in all this bullshit out here of the social media, and this is where I'm at, and this is what I'm doing, and this is how great I am. Fucking leave all that shit behind, man. Worry about yourself, worry about what you're doing, and worry about where you're going, and only where you're going to be your best self. What I realized for myself and for a lot of people is that life is one big tug of war between mediocrity and trying to find your best self. So there's tricks to all this crap in life. Life is one big head game. One trick in this situation is, so so I didn't want to run. So what did I do? I figured out a couple of things. You have to sometimes let mediocrity think that you're giving into it. So I said, you know what, instead of going for a 20-miler, I'm just gonna go out for an easy 6 or 7. What that did to my brain was it said, okay, mediocrity thought it won. So let loose a little bit and let go of that, oh, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be okay, it's not too bad. The second you get to mile 2, guess what happens? Greatness pulls mediocrity in the mud. So why the hell am I out here in Nashville, 90 degrees, running with 7 legs on, with a 45-pound pack? 2014, I had to drop out of Badwater to fill out this shoot. Badwater is the great equalizer. That heat makes everybody slow. I'm not a fast runner. But one thing I do have is I train hard for the heat. So when the heat comes, I'm ready for it. One thing we do in life is we allow the better people who have more skills than us, faster than us, get in our heads. Wimbledon right now, Roger Federer. Before somebody gets on the tennis court with Roger, they're already 2 sets down mentally. We can't live our lives that way. We gotta get on the equal playing field. Find a way to get on equal playing field with somebody. Get in the game. So my first conversation when I was absolutely nobody, and that's one thing you have to say. We live in a world now that's so kind. We find the kind way around everything. Like, if you don't look good, I have to find a kind way of saying, I don't like your shirt.
Right.
That's not the approach. If that's the approach you're looking for, that book is not for you. Can't Hurt Me is not for you. The approach you have to take, at least I took, you take whatever approach you want. The conversation had to be a real, honest conversation. In the accountability mirror, guess what? I was fat. Don't find a kind word to say that, you know what, I've gained some weight. No, you're fat. When I couldn't read, not like, hey, you know, you have a learning disability. No, I cannot read. I have a 4th grade reading level, I'm struggling, and sometimes I call myself stupid. Not in a way to put myself down. So don't take it like, my God, those are so hurtful. Yeah, they're hurtful, it's honest. The conversation has to become an honest conversation of where you're at mentally. Where am I at mentally? I look like shit. I feel like shit. I'm falling behind in school. I'm lazy. My house is a mess. You have to look at what it is and call it what it is. Don't find words to make yourself feel better, because that's what, so we hang around people that make us feel better, that tell us what we want to hear, not what we need to hear. And so we stay away from those people. And we stay away from those people, like our internal dialogue becomes that kind, it's okay. It's not okay. So that's where it starts. It starts with that accountability of, it's not okay anymore. This can no longer be okay. And calling yourself out for exactly what you are and exactly how you need to fix it. That's where it starts.
I love that.
You gotta start your journey. It may suck, but it will come out the other side where you're coasting. But you have to control every decision you make in your life. Those demons are gonna always be there. And that's exactly why I go back to building that belief, because they always wanna break you back down. There's not a permanent solution, but it's how you talk to them now. The conversation wants to be dictated by those demons. When you're fat, you're not where you wanna be, you're not successful, those demons want that very conversation. You gotta make sure that when you go to bed at night, you're net positive. A lot of times I wake up and I'm fucking negative. And my shit's all fucked up. I make sure before I tuck myself into bed at night, I'm in the black. I'm not in the red. So that demon may get a hold of me before I go to bed though. I make sure to put that motherfucker in the bed. And I'm the motherfucker under the bed that he's fucking scared of it. And if you can build that self, you can build that total accountability in oneself. And it's not about being selfish. I'm trying to create a better me. So hopefully people who are hearing this are taking it the right way, can say, I can run a mile. It ain't about running 205 miles, doing 4 being a city. It ain't about all that shit. It doesn't matter. I want you to see how fucking far you can go. And that's all it's about, yourself. And that's where it all comes from. Life is always giving you a test. Trying to give you a way out. Trying to give you an excuse not to show up. This is my excuse today. guess what? You gotta have the mentality to show up every fucking day of your life. No matter what life throws at you. It's our responsibility to show up to the Coliseum of life, prepared for fucking battle. I don't care what you're going through, what life's throwing at you. It's your responsibility to find your new 100%. Take it upon yourself to do that. When I was in the military, I was afraid of the water. I got exposed in that. A lot of us are trying to find that back seat in the classroom of life, hoping we never get called on. Trust me, you will get called on. Your fears will always find you. They'll know where you're hiding. Don't worry about the elements and what's going on. You gotta get out there and get it. And that's taking souls. And obviously, he wasn't the only one that thought about taking the day off. Because the storm is coming in right now. And there's not a soul out here but me. At the beginning of the year, a lot of you had goals, ambition, a lot of drive, a lot of motivation. Well, it's Easter. It's the middle of April. When I navigate, I put backstops out there to make sure I don't get too far off course. I put those backstops in my personal life to make sure I don't get too far away from my goals and my dreams. A lot of you aren't proud of who you are. You don't like the person you created. Do what I did. Start from scratch. Create somebody that you're proud of. But that's what we all do. That's why I wanted to come here today and talk to you about real shit. Not no fucking like hacks. There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. A real problem. I can understand you misunderstand me running down the street, shirt off, this, no, yeah, I can get it. I get it. If you misunderstand what I'm saying right now today, the problem is you. And you don't want to fix it. Now realize if you're going to do something, anything in life, you better attack it. A lot of us are going through wanting to be better, wanting to find more. And what we're doing is we're putting our toe in the water of life to see how cold it is. We're not attacking anything. We're going at it half-assed. There's one thing for sure. A lot of us think we can rise to the occasion. Well, you can't. You fall back on your training. And if your training sucks, so will you. I wanted to win. Not like beat somebody else. It wasn't about that. I just wanted to go the distance. Everything in my life, when something got hard, I quit. If it was reading, that's where, I wasn't great at reading. I wasn't great at writing, so I just quit. I couldn't catch on as fast as you. I had to work harder than you, so I quit. I wasn't great at things, so I quit. I'm not good at this. Like, man, if I could just go that distance, that extra mile, to just go, just to finish. I want to finish. I want to feel victory. And victory for me wasn't winning, it was just finishing. So I said, you know what? If I could feel like these guys feel, it would change my life. But what I realized, the best feeling I had was when I was by myself trying to lose this weight. I had to lose it in literally less than 3 months. 106 pounds in less than 3 months. And literally, I started feeling victory just by putting myself in the battle. It wasn't about going to Navy SEAL training. It wasn't about being the 23rd guy in that chair. I started realizing, man, just by going to war with myself every day and putting these challenges and these goals and these obstacles, these insurmountable obstacles, and I can actually enjoy it. Because why? I hate that the most. So that is where
I share that feeling.
Yes, I hate that the most. So you have to do something that sucks every day. Because why? Once you overcome the suck, now you're powerful. You've overcome yourself already. So now you're ready to battle.